the ones that we already have done some work on ourselves. We already have some tools to, you know, like days like today that I woke up with a little anxiety. Um, I often try to think, like, I'm so grateful for where I am. I'm actually walking on a very beautiful street, so I was inspired to record a video about this subject because I'm super grateful for where I am right now in my life, now that I have all these tools and the awareness of who I am, what makes me feel good, what doesn't make me feel good, awareness of the vision I have in my life, where I want to go, the direction I want to go, the person I want to become, the person I'm becoming. And I try to think, because at the same time I'm enjoying all these wonderful things that I'm experiencing in my life. At the same time, I'm like, God, it was so painful. It was so hard when I didn't have these tools. And I look around and I see my friends, people that are still not as aware of what they want in life, the direction they want to go. They're not as aware of who they are. And yeah, I'm aware that I have this pattern of wanting to save people, but at the same time, on the other side of that pattern is the beautiful ability to serve others. So I'm still working and learning how to be in that energy of inspiring others, because I learned already that me telling the other person, this is what you have to do, this is what's good for you, it's never the way. We all have very unique journeys and processes and timing, but I do know that we can inspire others, and the best way I have found that is by example, by me continue being committed to my practices, to my vision, and to continue showing up every day to do that work, whatever it takes. Like today, I was like, okay, we are in a funky transition phase moment. What else can I do? What else? What can I do today to continue pushing through the resistance or whatever is presenting? So I'm with a little anxiety, not too high, I would say. It's starting to be a little loud. And before going to bed, I journaled a little bit, so I'm aware of where it's coming from. And you know, as we all know, creating as the ones that have been doing a little work to understand our different states and understanding also the things that help us, again, the tools that the ones that have been working to find those tools that help us to get out of those states that don't make us feel good, or just don't allow us to continue doing the things that we want to do. I'm getting a little distracted with this story, but even though I'm a little aware, the anxiety is still present. So I decided to go for this little walk, being active, being in the sun, being in nature, and getting into a flow. Like for me, sharing my experiences, my perspectives, the things that I have learned in my life, helps me, puts me into a flow a lot of the times. It's something that really connects me with myself and with the vision of the person I want to become. And trying to reflect a little bit, like, about what I need at the moment, what I need right now, and thinking about someone that doesn't know a lot of the things that I know right now. What I realized, that people that are experiencing anxiety and don't have tools, one of the main things I can see that can be very helpful for them, and probably was where, oopsies, I've been covering the camera, sorry. And it was probably the beginning for me to understand how to work with my anxiety, or how to, start recognizing the patterns and the things that don't make me feel good. I think it was paying a lot of attention to when I do feel good, taking photos of those moments when we do feel great. Even I would say at the beginning, I want to say that when I feel great now, it's a totally different level of, I don't know, like 2 years ago when I thought I felt good, I feel way more deeply alive now, and my elevated states, they feel way more deeply now than 2-3 years ago. But practicing that, just being aware of how things feel, how your body feels, what are the things that take you into those states, I think is the first step, because the more we are familiar with how we get there, how we do feel there, in the moment we start feeling dysregulated, when we start feeling a little anxiety, when we start not feeling good, we start recognizing how we start getting familiar, how it feels like feeling not great, and what are the things that take us from feeling great to not feeling great. So it's always a very unique, it's very unique. It's very different for everyone. What takes me out of my regulated state, of my elevated emotions, is gonna be different for my friends, or for my family, or for you. So if you're new to starting to recognize all these patterns, all these parts of yourself, all the states that you experience, I would say the first step, and commit at least to do that, I would say, like, as I was saying earlier, I feel great. I feel like I get, even in these moments, I feel like I get to experience life in a wonderful, beautiful way, in very deep levels that I used to not be able to. I used to not be able to do that, and I want to say that it's been 4 or 5 years for me since I started working on learning about myself. So there were times where everything felt really, things didn't feel great, and I felt discouraged, and it was really hard, because I will feel good for a little bit, but it was confusing how to maintain the state of feeling good. It takes time, I would say. For me, it took me time. For you, it can be quicker. I don't know. Again, we are all very different. One other thing that I want to add to this, that I wish I knew this before, and I had to learn, let's say, not in a great way about this, was the piece of commitment. I have some videos in my channel about perfectionism, because that's a big part of my process too. I didn't understand, and I didn't feel I could commit to things. I didn't understand what being committed was. I didn't have a good relationship with being committed to things, relationship with myself, relationship with many things. um, with work, with health, even, which is funny because I think I'm a very healthy person and passionate about eating well. But even though, yeah, I had times where my commitment was just weird. Like I just didn't understand how that worked, and learning about perfectionism helped me to become a committed person. I'm committed to everything, and understanding that the best commitment we can have in life is to ourselves, to the things, that the vision we have, the person we want to become. Once we unlock that, once we have that understanding, everything just flows in life. And yes, things show up. Like again today I'm having one of those funky days, but I already know how to be committed, because that's a practice too. As I say it in my videos, it's almost like you can compare being committed and all these practices that I talk about as going to a gym, as learning a new sport. It takes time. It takes time. But once you do it, yeah, you have proof already. Oh, I can do this, like my muscles feel great, I'm strong, and I get to enjoy, and I get to do all these amazing things thanks to being committed. So yeah, studying, learning who you are, learning how you feel, paying attention to through the day. Uh, what are the moments that you feel good? Like right now I'm feeling great because the sun is in my face. I love being in the sun, in the warm weather. What things make you happy? If it's a little hard for you, one other tip that I can share is to go in childhood. That's where authentic, or our authentic selves live, and will be there for us forever. If you are you're struggling a little bit to remember what are the things that make you feel good, just go back in your history, in your story, in your life, and yeah, your inner child, your whatever. I like to say my little me, the little version of myself. They always know. They will be there to remind us what do really makes us feel great. So if you want to do that, just bringing back a lot of those activities, those things that you used to do, create your own version of, if you're a grown up, create an updated version of that. Like I used to love playing, being in nature, so I ride bicycles. I moved now to live by the beach. I was also near to the beach, but a cold beach. So warm weather, being by the beach, being able to enjoy swimming in the water, being active, dancing, wearing costumes, creating, or all those are things that used to make very happy my little me, and I still do. So yeah, I hope you're getting some good inspiration from this video, and if you are having experiencing a little anxiety as me today, I would recommend, if you're new to learning the tools, I would recommend start paying attention to your stage, to the day. Say you can take notes, you can have a journal, you can record voice notes, you can share with someone, with a good friend, like, oh, I noticed I was feeling this way because these things were happening, and now I feel this other way because this. Just start creating that awareness. You might be a little quicker than me, and it might take you a little quicker than what it took me. Um, but I just want you to know that wherever you are in life, whatever you are experiencing in life, there's a path, there's a way out to feel great again, as we used to feel when we were little. That joy and that enjoyment and that um, That's a good word for this. But yeah, just be excited about life again. The same way you used to get excited when you were going to play with your best friend and to do your favorite things. You are with a yeah. My brain's a little tired, but yeah, we are designed. We are made of in a way that we can still experience all those amazing feelings, no matter what's happening, no matter what we're going through. We can get back to those elevated emotions and to those wonderful states. Um, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. Peace and love.